Back live with you here on the Newsfeed PM. Thanks for staying on. Bitou Municipality Deputy Mayor Nokuzola Kolwapi became the subject of a criminal investigation and widespread public outcry after a video surfaced showing her allegedly discharging a firearm during a cultural celebration. The incident occurred on the 21st of December in Nokuzola in Plettenberg Bay. Kolwapi was attending an Umgidi ceremony, a traditional Xhosa celebration marking the return of her son from initiation school. Police have since confirmed that a criminal case has been opened. The question we're asking, has tradition deviated from its norms? Well, let's chat more about this with Professor Nokuzola Mndende from the Icamagu Heritage Institute. Prof, good to have you, and thank you very much for coming on this afternoon. The question is, I mean, this celebration, are we beginning to see rituals that are incompatible with the responsible way in which this event should be observed? And if so, how are these creeping in? What is bringing this element in?
Thank you, Thabo, and the viewers at home. I just want to have a brief introduction of the rite of passage. This is a rite of passage like any other rite of passage, where it is a process where a young one gets into the ritual and then the seclusion and the passing out parade. And this is a celebration. What we see is supposed to be a celebration of the person who has passed from a boyhood to manhood, and not this confusion that is being done by these amazimazana of today. It's not the question of the ritual deviating. It's the question of papayo. I don't know how to say it in English. In the first place, as women who are entrenched in our tradition, we were so embarrassed, I want to be honest, by the deputy mayor who happened to have a name like myself, Nokuzola. I'm also Nokuzola. In the first place, Thabo, what these women are doing now is embarrassing because they are usurping this celebration from the young ones to women. Umgidi is not for Amazibazana. Amazibazana is just to look at the people in the celebration. But now they have changed it. We are fighting the introduction of alcohol by the very same women. And now they are introducing guns. I'm telling you, we were embarrassed by what this lady said, to say this is a political issue. She's telling lies. To say women are taking back power. Which power is she talking about? Take their identity. Which identity is she talking about? And also taking of the culture. Which culture is she talking about?
So she says that societies uphold, particularly men, and I read here, by the fact that this act was performed by a woman. It has unsettled some, and hence the reaction. Reading into that to mean that if this same act would have been performed by a man, and whether a man previously would have acted in such a way, maybe is another question we should ask. She claims that, well, society would not be up in arms.
But what is the relationship between a gun and a ritual in the first place, whether you're a man or a woman? And she's not telling the truth. We know what has happened to Malema. So this is not a question of gender. She is telling blue lies. This is not a question of gender. In fact, I'm saying this is an embarrassment. What she's saying, culture is revolving. In which direction is this culture she's talking about revolving to the West? Because we are talking about violence in this country. For the whole deputy mayor to go and do that in public, what is she promoting? She's promoting that everyone can do that, to fire randomly. So that was irresponsible, Thabo. That is a lie. It has got nothing to do with gender. It has got nothing to do with culture. It has got nothing to do with identity.
So you're citing particularly that practice which we are talking about this year, but you're saying you have been in the process of pushing back against the alcohol, the brandishing of alcohol. It becomes a lot about the alcohol as well. Is that an effect of modernization? Is that an effect of some as they say, dynamic practices of culture that are evolving?
In fact, Thabo, this is the mental oppression of the black people, because the people, that is the white people, who came with this brandy, you don't see them doing these things that we are doing. The people who came with these guns, we don't see them doing what we are doing. That is the mentality, the psychology, that is us accepting the colonization more than the people who even brought the colonization. So what I'm trying to say, both brandy and the bullet, they came with colonization. It has got nothing to do with our culture. So these women who are doing that are forwarding colonization. They are destroying our children. And it's so embarrassing that it is done by a woman to do that. So that is why I'm saying, even for this Amazibazana, you find that they are like peacocks when there is this imikiti, as if umkiti is for Zibazana, the mother of the initiate. Umkiti is not for the mother. What about the female initiation ritual, like in Tonjani? So you don't see men doing the same thing in the female. You don't, even females themselves, you don't see them doing what they are doing in this male initiation ritual. Right. So it's madness, if I can just speak the truth. What these women are doing, those who are wearing expensive dresses because they are money, they are moneyed, those who are buying expensive alcohol because they are moneyed, now shooting in the air because they are mad. So this is the destruction of an African identity.
Yeah. Where is the traditional council leadership that needs to protect the integrity then of this particular institution?
Where is?
The traditional council, leadership council that is supposed to protect, I suppose, the integrity of this institution and give direction as to how these things should be conducted.
Same, I want to protect them because I've been working more especially with the Eastern Cape ones. They can't control us. It's because we do these things in our own homestead because we have got money. So the chairperson of the house or the deputy chairperson, if I'm doing it in Willow Vale, he is not there. And even the men that are, even the family men, because now those women have got money, they do whatever they want to do. So there is a problem that we're having as a nation, and the traditional leaders cannot control it, most unfortunately, because we've got our own monies.
Yes.
Because even this lady, you will see that there was a man who was jumping next to him. Why is that man doing that? Now, you know, problem.
So you're talking about the question of money, particularly playing a role here. I mean, we are now talking about a political office bearer. I mean, they are human beings too. I suppose they also need to. They have children. They need to have umgidi. They need to go through rites of passage their children, and so on and so forth. Are we up in arms, particularly now, because this is a political office bearer, or is it something that even happens to people who are not in public office?
No, it's not because she is in the public office. We are fighting against this. It's just because this one went to the media. Otherwise, even the question of alcohol, if you can go to our statuses, we have been condemning what is happening, what is these women are doing, to say, guys, you are killing your children, you are killing the nation. This is no way that feminists or humanists should work. I'm a humanist myself. I fight for the liberation of women, but I fight for the liberation of women where it is due, not to fight men to introduce something that is going to kill our children. is to restore the dignity of our tradition. Tabo, I'm writing a book now on reclaiming our original status, but now not like this.
Yeah.
Not like this. Otherwise, what she was doing, that lady, I don't know, I repeat it. We are papa. And even other women, by a papa. Why buying an expensive dress just because only Zabazana in your umgidi? And we don't even see Ikhwana, this young man. We see the mother doing all these things with expensive dresses. No, it's just because by a papa. Bon.
Prof, I appreciate your time. Let's leave it there. Couldn't have put it any clearer than what you've done. Nokuzola Mndende, professor from the Icamagu Heritage Institute.